short, dark. You might want to move closer.
Now, going to show on the screen
It's showing on Facebook.
on the. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know too much about all that Facebook.
It's okay.
Not one thing.
It's okay.
I don't even know what Facebook looks like.
I heard
But
you
I
got
don't
a
feel-
I heard
but
you
I-
got a Facebook account, Bo.
You heard what?
You have a Facebook account. Lisa was telling me she put you on Facebook.
Oh.
So you know how to go to the church? You know how to go to the church Facebook page now? Or you think I just go do it for you?
I got to learn. I have to.
Okay, that's okay.
There, you know, the girls are showing, somebody is showing.
You'll get it.
When it comes to the computer and all that, I am so drained.
So you want to stand here, you can go here, you can go here. Don't go way over there. You won't show up. So where you standing right now, half of you is showing. That's good.
Now, Mom, I don't understand what you're doing. What does that have to do with that screen? I don't
So
understand
that screen is where all the presentation is going to be shown.
Okay.
And this is the Facebook Live. So some people are already watching. Hi, David. So that's why I say we should start.
Oh. Nice when you know all that.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started. How's everybody doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you. How are you doing today?
Fine, Miss Phillips.
Good.
We have Miss Monica here,
Yes, good morning.
Marvel here, and we're here on our continuing series of the spiritual world, angels and demons. And we've been talking here recently in the last few weeks about the doors to the soul, things that open doors to our soul, open it to demons. And before we get started, as always, let us pray.
That's great.
Our Father and our God, we want to thank you, Father. We just want to thank you, Father, for delivering us safely here today, Father. There's been so much happening in the world, Father. People walking into places of worship and killing people, and people just seem to be out of control. This world, Father. You've warned us about that, Father, but it still frightens us to a certain extent. But we know that fear and faith can exist at the same time. So, Father, we're just placing all our faith in you, Father. As you are in control. You are still in control. And, Father, we just ask that you touch us with your Holy Spirit of wisdom, power, and courage, Father, as we tread on. And, Father, we ask you to open our hearts and open our minds, Father, as you fill us with your understanding, your light of understanding, Father, on the subject that we will be discussing today. And Father, we just ask all of this in your name and for your sake. We ask you to bless the food that we have here, the hands that have prepared the food. In the name of Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. We are here. Everybody has their outlines, I hope. And as we have opened certain doors or opened our knowledge about certain doors, there's one that we just cannot ignore. There's just one we cannot ignore because it's something that's been with us since the beginning of time. It's something that's created by God, to a certain extent hijacked by the devil, and by us allowing that to happen. As you remember, we always say that demons have no control over you other than the control that's the truth of this matter too, as we talk about the door of sex. And you know, we have to ask ourselves a question too. When we're talking about at the doors that we open into our soul. And we mentioned this last week or the week before, that you know there are spirits at the door waiting for you to open it. You got demons. There's also Jesus says he stands at the door. Yeah. He stands at the door. He's knocking at the door, asking you to let him in. So you have to ask the question, what door, or who is it that is standing at your door? Who is it you're allowing to come in to your soul? Is it Jesus?
Hope so.
Or is it demons? And as the illustration indicates, basically the choice is yours. The choice is yours. They cannot come in. Jesus won't come in unless you invite him in. So the invitation is yours, and it's the same power of election that God gave us from the beginning, gave to Adam and Eve, that old dirty thing we call election, willpower. He gave it to us to make our own decisions for good or bad. We have that, and so as we indicated, there's so many demons that are out here in the world, an innumerable amount of demons. 1/3 of all angels were cast out with Satan, and that was 1/3 of an innumerable amount. So 1/3 of innumerable is still innumerable. And so there are many, many, many demons that are out there. There are many angels. Oh, there's 2 times the amount of angels that are out there. And then Jesus is standing right at your door, asking you to let him in. And so that's the thing that we have to understand. A few years ago, we, Sister Cooper, had a women's conference, and she brought in a speaker, and that speaker talked on the subject of sex traps. And that was Dr. Turner. I don't know if you remember that. That was about in 2010.
How long ago was that?
Well, about 9 years ago.
Yeah, Dr. Wanda Turner.
Wanda Turner.
Wanda.
Yeah. She came in and talked about that. So, let's see here. I did something. I need to go back. Okay, you have a sound there.
Got 911, guess.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the sound is down. I don't know. Just a little pause for the cause. Let's see where we are with sound here. Must be on mute. Nope. I'm not sure where it's at, but she talked about sex traps that we get into, and how the devil uses those traps against us, because it's clear that there we go. We got a little. There you go. It's clear that the devil uses what he can against us. Things that works against us is sex. And so we have to be on guard. Sex is a subject of a lot of scrutiny in Christianity, and we can't get around it. So we have to understand it, and we have to cope with it. Or any other factor. We talked about yesterday, my wife and I talked about sexting. You know what sexting is? What is sexting?
sexing.
When they text.
Did you say sexing or texting?
They
Well,
have
It's a play on that. It's a play on that. It's using texting
Okay.
to promote sex.
To promote sex.
And a lot of, we were talking, a lot of our kids use it, but a lot of grown-ups use it too, right?
Oh.
Where they might take pictures of their body parts and send it all around. You know? And it's a big problem. It's a big problem. See, some of our largest societal problems are related to sex. Unwanted pregnancies, diseases, the demise of marriages, etc., etc. And then some are not squeamish when it comes to talking about it. You see, the Bible is not reticent to talk about it either. If you go through the Bible, like I said, from the beginning, when Adam and Eve were walking in the garden with the Lord, and the cool of the day and all that, they had this personal relationship. They didn't know they were naked. You remember? And after they sinned, they became aware, they had this knowledge. And now they were ashamed of their nakedness. Which, and I thought about that, and I said, I can't see a situation where I want to be walking around naked, and all that kind of thing. They say, where'd that come from? I mean, something had to happen, because you look at all the other animals in the world, they don't have panties on, or they don't have underwear on, they just walk around, they don't even think about it.
They don't think it is wrong, right?
Well, we do have nudist camps today.
True.
Well,
They feel very comfortable.
I don't have nudist camp.
Well, they feel very comfortable in their skin.
They're comfortable in their skin.
Yeah.
But that is an exception, don't you think? You have some people that, and I've seen some pictures of those places, and some of those people need to put some clothes on. I mean, if you see something, you know what I'm talking about.
I agree.
Don't nobody want to see that.
Some of them need to put some clothes on. Let's get beyond that. But anyway, the Bible talks about it, and it's talked about it from the beginning. And it seems to be an issue that just keeps reverberating through the Bible. If you notice, in the Old Testament, in the New Testament, Jesus confronts it and talks about it. So it's something that we just can't ignore it. We can try to ignore it. And if we try to ignore it, then the devil and his demons control it. And as we said, they work 24/7. They don't take a break. They don't take a siesta. They don't stop. They just keep going with it. And so if they keep going with it and we ignore it, then it's going to overwhelm us. It's going to roll over us. And it doesn't roll over us for good. So I brought out an example from the Bible, Genesis 39. I didn't reprint it on the screen because it's pretty long, but it should be in your outline. So let's do a little interactive here. Let me get somebody to start reading that. Say reading the first. Let's see. The first 6 verses. Can somebody do that for us? You have to do it loud.
I'll read it.
Okay.
Genesis 39:1. Now Joseph had been taken down to Egypt. Potiphar, an Egyptian who was one of Pharaoh's officials, the captain of the guard, brought him from the Ishmaelites who had taken him there. The Lord was with Joseph, and he prospered, and he lived in the house of his Egyptian master. When his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord gave him success in everything he did, Joseph found favor in his eyes and became his attendant. Potiphar put him in charge of his household, and he entrusted to his care everything he owned. From the time he put him in charge of his household and of all that he owned, the Lord blessed the household of the Egyptian because of Joseph. The blessing of the Lord was on everything Potiphar had, both in the house and in the field. So he left in Joseph's care everything he had, with Joseph in charge. He did not concern himself with anything except the food he ate. Now Joseph was well built and handsome. And after a while, his master's wife took notice of Joseph and said, "Come to bed with me." But he left you because you are his wife. How then could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God? And though how your slave treated me, he burned with anger. Joseph's master took him and put him in prison, the place where the king's prisoners were confined.
It sounds like a soap opera.
It really
Well, it does to me. I mean, okay.
Well, it does.
It does.
It does.
Kind of unbelievable.
Well, and that's part of the point that we're trying to make here, is that this sex thing has been out in here. There are stories regarding the children of Israel, the 12, where they were with prostitutes and all that kind of thing, and having kids, and if you look at the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, you'll find that there was so much immorality, sexual immorality going on. That was one of the main Abraham says, "Hey, if you find one good man."
And he was going down.
You're going down. And they say, well,
50, 25, 25.
right. So, but let's take a look at that. What we have is we have Joseph, who was one of the 12, right? Mm-hmm. One of the 12, and he had been done wrong by his family, of course. They were trying to kill him and all that. So his circumstances were bad. I mean, you look at people today and you ask them, why did you do this? Or why are you doing this? Why you this? Well, I had this hard childhood, and I just people didn't respect me, and my daddy left, and my mama, she couldn't, and as a justification for the things that they do now. Joseph was thrown into a pit, left for dead, dug out the pit, sold to slaveholders, taken down to Egypt, sold to Potiphar, and then now lied upon by Potiphar's wife, and now sent to prison. And he didn't make those excuses about why I am like I am. A lot of your people who get in trouble in sexual crimes and things like that, they will make those excuses. When it comes down to an election about how you're going to live your life and what's right and what's wrong, See, the dangerous situation sex puts us in is making a choice to something that feels so good sometimes. It feels like it's something that maybe we should do. Check out, it feels good, because you'll find a lot of people say now, if it feels good to you, do it. Have you ever heard that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. It all depends on what you're gonna do.
See, that's the voice of wisdom talking.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You know, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, that
Yeah,
didn't occur to me.
Of course. I agree.
That did not occur to me. But what we have is that we have to learn how to deal with our sexual temptations. The devil is ready to use it. And for some reason, that door that is to your soul seems always to be open to that. You know, we like to keep the door shut and all that, but they only need a crack. And the devil will come at you. I always say, the devil doesn't come at you with things you can handle. He comes at you with things you cannot handle. And he's good at it. He's very good at it. A lot of people, ton of people, and you might even say the vast majority of people have been taken down by this temptation, sex. It is, and it's not that Joseph had no sexual desire. I mean, he was a young man, and they like that. The Bible said he was well built. All that. Tony Evans said that he worked out at Gold's Gym. He was fair to look at. And the woman who came at him was a beautiful woman.
She was pretty, yeah.
And so you have a young man who's built up. He has his sexual desires, and here comes a beautiful woman coming at him, and she's got some type of power too. And so, what's to stop him from doing it? I know brothers today who would have jumped at that opportunity. They'd have been way down the line on that one. In the day, I have a grandson, Christian. A lot of you know Christian. He comes to me and says, he called me Papa. Papa?
Is that the youngest?
Yeah, youngest.
Youngest.
Papa, back in the day. How do you know about back in the day?
He heard you on
Papa, you remember back in the day? Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
But and I'm bringing it up because see, back in the day, if you understand this concept, I was in a far country. If you ever seen read the scriptural verse about the prodigal son, at his furthest point from God, and they weren't talking about distance and miles and everything, but his furthest point from God was he was in that far country. He was away from God. And when you're away from God, then all the things that God says you should or should not do, you don't care about. You do whatever it is that you feel you want to do, or whatever it is that your body's desires tell you to do. When the prodigal son was in the far country, and when I was in the far country, and when you were in the far country, the demons are having a field day. Because there's so many doors open, and they're not just cracked, they are wide open. And they're taking control. And so I say this, in the back in the day, I would have jumped all over it too. See, I did not know how to deal with sexual temptation other than to give in to it. So, how do you deal with sexual temptation? Bible tells us, 1 Corinthians 6:18-20.
Run.
Flee.
Run.
Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. The sin that you're committing is against your body. See, the reason God told us don't eat that apple on that tree in the center of the garden is because he knew we couldn't handle it. We couldn't handle it. And what happened? They ate and they couldn't handle it. And as a result, we call it the fall of man. I mean, everything went south at that point. And God said, don't eat it. And that should have been enough. He didn't tell them that part, or they didn't get it that you can't handle that. So when you tell people, wait a minute, is that all you telling me I need? I can do is run, flee. That's all. That's it.
No.
Well, the Bible says flee. Because you can't handle it. You say, well, I don't know, I need more than that. Okay, what about the Lord's Prayer? Lord, lead me not into temptation. Why would God say pray like that? Say, you can't handle it on your own. So you should say, look, I know I'm a weak being, I'm not God. I mean, I can be tempted and all that, and I can fall and all that, so lead me not into that. Flee. You say, well, that may work all the time. I mean, that may work some of the time, but what about those times when you're confronted with it and nothing you can do, you have to face it, you have to do it? Deliver me from evil. You see, flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. So, run. No other sin so clearly affects the body as this one does. For sexual immorality is a sin against your own body. That's just another interpretation of 1 Corinthians 6:18. That's what you need to do. And today's world, we tougher now. I ain't just gonna run, I ain't be no punk, But you gonna either be a punk or you gonna get sucked in. You're gonna get sucked in. You see, Ephesians also talks about, and the Bible talks about doing the weapons you have against spiritual warfare. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked one. Because the devil is shooting those arrows at you. And in that quiver, a lot of them deal with sexual sin. And so your shield, is symbolized by a real steel shield and a sword and all that kind of thing. And the point is, your defenses, your shield, your sword are spiritual shields and spiritual swords. And so one of your spiritual shields and swords is that's your defenses. You say your shield is to get out of Dodge. Leave it alone. Don't mess with it. You see, I had a friend of ours, a lot of you know, Darnell Anderson. You remember Darnell?
Mm-hmm.
Bible study together. My mom was there, Miss June was there, and Doris was there. And I kind of, that's when I started to kind of lead those things, okay? And we would talk about this subject. And I tell you, some of the older people at Lee Chapel, they were something else. And they did not mean, they said what was on their mind and everything. But we commented, Darnell said that, when people tell him, that, hey, I don't go out to the clubs no more. I don't deal in this sexual stuff anymore. I've learned and I'm apart from it. And I remember Darnell said, because they'll say, I'm celibate, right?
Yeah.
Darnell will say, hey, you aren't celibate and therefore godly because you've gotten too old to do anything.
Something.
That's exactly what he said. He said, I ain't buying all that. You just too old to do it. And I talked about Dr. Turner when she came here. One of the things she said was, or because nobody is giving you the opportunity anymore. So now you want to pride yourself in your celibacy. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked one. Understand, fleeing fornication works. It works every time. And so, people look at that and say, well, I don't know about that one, I'm fleeing and stuff. It works. It works. And that's a spiritual way to deal with it. And that's one of the defenses that God has given to you. And if you don't use it, then now you confront it. And remember, we're not built to handle it. So what do you do next? Pray. Ask for strength. But see, they say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So all those people that say, I can handle it, I can deal with it and all that, a lot of them are just another brick on that road to hell. So, what about this sexual thing? God created it. You remember when we talked about that sin, one of the things about sin is when you start worshiping the creation over the Creator. When you start worshiping, God created sex. That's a creation. That's a creature, if you want to call it. And a lot of people worship that. Genesis 1:24, and God said, let the land produce living creatures according to their kind. And I have that highlighted because according to their kind. Meaning, it comes out of you. And when it comes out of you, it's just like you. Livestock, creatures that move along the ground, and wild animals, each according to its kind. And the only way it's going to come out of you and it's going to stay that way and all that is through sex. God made the wild animals according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and all the creatures that move along the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. God was putting some order into this creation. And it wasn't a chaos, let there be light, boom, Big Bang or whatever you want to call it. There was order in that. It might look like chaos to us because we're not God. A lot of things we can't understand. Then God said, let us make man in our image, in our likeness. And let them rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. So, what God said that each of these creatures will multiply as to their own kind. And then he says, let us make man after our kind. See, now that should say something to you. That should establish right there that we are godly creatures. We are spiritual creatures. We are made after the image of God and all that. And we're supposed to produce people from us who are like that too. That's the plan from the beginning. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. And then male and female, he created them. This is order. This is not discord. He created a man. He created a woman. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it. Remember, he made them after his own kind. He said, be fruitful and increase in number. What's that mean? Breathe. Have sex.
Have a lot of babies. Yeah.
Have sex. You're not going to just say, baby appeared.
You mean the stork didn't bring it?
God created sex. And what did God say after every day of creation? What was the last thing he said? It was good. God created sex, and God created sex good.
For a purpose.
For a purpose.
For a purpose. Not to run around and be one person trying to plant the whole.
So when he created sex, it was with his blessing that you have sex. Right?
Within the marital.
Alright. Be fruitful. Meaning that I'm going to bless you. And then multiply. Fill the earth. And I made you even better than any of these other animals I put out here. Rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air and every other living creature that moves on the ground. So whether they're in the sea, they're in the air, or they're on the ground, and that covered everybody, didn't it? I think it covered everybody. Then God said, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth. Every tree that has fruit with seed in it, they will be yours for food. And to all the beasts of the earth and all the birds of the air and all the creatures that move on the ground, everything that has breath of life in it, I give every green plant for food, and it was so. Now that's giving us reign over this earth. But as I said, this was order. He made man, he made woman. We're supposed to produce and multiply after our own kind. And a purpose for it. See, God saw all that he made, and it was very good. There was evening, there was night, and there was morning the sixth day. So, God's saying, I done good. Yes.
Okay, he said, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth and every tree that has fruit with seed in it.
Mm-hmm.
They will be your food.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say nothing about eating those cows and chickens and things.
We were supposed to be vegetarians.
Vegan that too.
And a lot of people getting back to the vegetarian now. And understanding how well that works in your body and all that. And there's some detriments to eat meat and all that kind of thing. Flesh, yes, we were supposed to eat vegetables. And that was to be sufficient for us.
So if everybody did the reproduction thing, we're going to overrun with animals and things and a few trees.
Wait a minute, go over that one again.
I get what you mean.
Okay.
Well, that's a thing to think about.
What is it, sir? Tell me what.
I think what she's saying is if everybody's eating the fruits and the vegetables, including the animals, and then you have overabundance of animals, eventually you're going to run out of trees. Isn't that what you were saying?
Well, I mean, I really don't think you're gonna ever run out of trees.
Right,
You
right.
ever, and you know, here's an example. I know that, have you ever cleared land on your property?
Yep.
I clear it, there's nothing there but dirt and all that, because I'm preparing to put down this paper, you know, the landscaping paper, and then I'm gonna put down some mulch and all that, and
Volunteers.
I don't care how much I clear it out. Stuff grows.
More comes.
Mhm.
And it grows, and I said, where'd that come from? I see them do big construction, and they clear the land out, and after a while, here comes the, and and I know they're pods, they're seeds, and all that kind of stuff, but I'm trying my best to keep that stuff out of there, and I go get the Roundup, you know. And I'm glad I didn't use it too much. but I don't think we're ever gonna run out of
Just
Although they say that one of the symptoms of this climate change is how it's affecting our rainforests and that sort of thing. So, I mean, we keep messing around, we can mess it up.
Well, you need to tell that to our president.
we don't know.
Because as far as he's concerned, that's a bunch of poppycock. And what we should be doing out here is making more money and more money, whether it's with coal or whatever, you know. As long as it makes money, it's good.
For him.
So now we have concluded that God created sex, and He created it to be good.
Yes.
He created it to be good, and if God created it to be good, then why is this such a problem? Like I said, animals walk around naked all the time, and so, but it's a problem for us. It draws people down. It destroys things. It's one of the biggest problems we have. And there are sex demons. See, you don't know what type of creature that is standing outside your door that you've cracked open. You know? And there are things called sex demons. And they had a name for these things. Now, some of this, you know, I don't know. I mean, there have been sex demons since the beginning of time. In recorded history, people have always thought that there were sex demons. And that their main purpose, or their main goal, being sex demons, is to exploit this sexual thing with you in all kind of devious ways. Now, during the Middle Ages, you know, the Middle Ages, they call them the Dark Ages. You remember that? Everybody learned about Western civilization. You know, I remember I went to college in my freshman year in college, had this course called Western civilization. I didn't know what the heck that was. You know, I studied history and all that. So what they were talking about is the growth of Western civilization and basically Europe, like I said, Greece, Roman, Europe, and then spreading over to the New World and all that. Western civilization. And during the dark, there was this dark age after the fall of the Roman Empire, when they called them barbarians, conquered Rome, and they destroyed all the stuff that Rome had done. And so after that, there was just this dark age that we plunged into, we in Western civilization. Remember, we were not part of that. We were down in Africa.
But we're still playing queens and kings.
That's right. We were
Okay.
still kind of in control of our own self. And these people up here in Europe and all that, they were actually very stupid.
Well,
I mean, let's just be true.
well.
The only ones who could read were the ones associated with the church. Everybody else was in the Dark Ages. And you say, okay, so why are you talking about that? Well, the only thing that had any control of power really was the king and his armies who tried to take everything, and then the church. The church survived through those dark ages. But sin, I mean, their situation was so bad that they had to come up with all these reasons for why is it so bad, and all these, and a lot of it was thrown off on demons, of course. This was the succubus. Succubus was a female demon, supposedly, and that probably the most well-known sex demon is a female demon who takes the form of an attractive seductress in order to seduce men. It is generally believed that the succubus legend came about as a result of the medieval preoccupation with sin, especially sexual sins of women. And remember, back then, women didn't have a whole lot of rights or anything like that. So they were being taken advantage of, okay? Little girls, as soon as they're able to, and all that. And, of course, they would be, the thought is that they were being seduced partly from their own will, okay? And so that these demons were controlling them. So, the female demon would seduce men in their dreams and everything, while you're dreaming, you're having all this sex with this gorgeous woman who's really a demon and all that. And so that was the answer for why that was running rampant and out of control. And then the other one was Incubus, was a male demon who took advantage of women, led them astray, and all that. And they said part of it was that it was for the male demon was to impregnate the women and therefore create a demon kid.
Create what?
A demon kid. Demon kid. Sex was a big problem. Sex was a big problem in the Middle Ages. So, but that's carried over because it's not far-fetched to think that there are some demons who concentrate solely on this most powerful weapon that the devil has to draw you astray. So, outside your door that you've cracked open could be these demons. And just a little, as I have in the outline, the most well-known one was the succubus, the female demon, but the male version was incubus, and like the female counterpart, he drains the strength and life energy of the victim. Unlike the succubus, the incubus will impregnate his victims with another incubus. The victim will then carry the baby to term, but when she gives birth, the baby appears to be stillborn. It will have no pulse and it won't appear to breathe. Then around the age of 7, the child will appear to behave normally, but will usually be very attractive and intelligent. According to some legends, the wizard Merlin is the product of an incubus father and a human mother. It's also believed by some that the Virgin Mary was deflowered by an incubus. I have no idea what that means.
Deflowered?
So that's somebody saying that she did not have a virgin birth.
They tried to say
And that was some legend, okay? So now you know about 2 sex demons you didn't know about before. Okay? So we good on that?
Yeah.
Now I can't tell you that came came up during the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages, okay? And people had to have some explanation for stuff that was going on, okay? And they knew about demons, okay? And they knew that sex was a problem. And so they put that together. Now, where they get the names and all that kind of stuff, you know? I mean, you can put a name on it if you want. I still think those demons are out there. Okay? I still think those sex demons are out there.
Well, that's some of the fallen angels.
Uh-huh.
Okay, great, okay.
Absolutely. So, and how do we look at sex in our world? Okay? We look at sex and we try to look at it as like a good thing, right? I mean, we have, you know, love between a man and a woman and all that. We look at it as being good. And it is good. God said it was good, but he put limitations on it. Okay? The way we look at sex today, we don't look at sex exclusively in a marriage situation. God said it's good in that situation. We look at sex, we try to make sex good in all situations. Right?
That's how the world sees it.
I mean, if we didn't think that, then why would we do it? We either do it because we think it's good outside of marriage too, or we do it thinking that, well, I can do this and then I can get God to forgive me later on. That's even if you believe in God. Where would that be? If I believe in God and I believe in the Bible that says it's only good in marriage and I'm doing it outside of marriage, then I'm either just saying that God wasn't right when he said that only do it in marriage, or I'm saying that, you know, hey, I'll get forgiven later on. Okay? So, we look at it as a good thing, but then there are problems. Tiger Woods. That was a big problem for a while, wasn't it? He finally won a major. He hadn't won a major since this happened.
No.
Yeah. And then he had all kind of physical problems and everything. This sexual thing messes you up in many ways. You know? And sometimes God will wait until you die to give you your punishment. And a lot of times you get your punishment while you're here. While you're here. There are political sex scandals. This was one of the craziest ones ever.
True that.
Crazy.
That was stupid.
Well, it was absolutely stupid.
Really dumb.
I mean, here we have the man at the highest level of the government,
Right.
most powerful country in the world.
And took advantage.
I always say I'm glad the Russians didn't call on the hotline while he was on the hotline.
She was on the hotline.
And you know what? The wild thing, and it's kind of like when the Pharisees and Sadducees threw that woman in front of them and said, we caught her in the act. And then Jesus dealt with her situation and their situation, the one who threw her there. And people go and say, what about the man? Well, you know, we're dealing with her situation. We're dealing with the Pharisee situation. And, you know, the man, of course, is going to get his too. Okay? But that wasn't a part of the lesson. Okay? But you look at this and they'll say, that daggone Clinton, he's up there doing all this stuff, and then he lies about it, you know, and he gets impeached for lying and all this kind of thing.
Well, you gotta know what the definition of is.
Definition of what?
Is. That was one of the questions in the definition. It
But the thing is, he was wrong.
yeah.
She was wrong too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, he
She
was
was
wrong.
wrong.
But he was the only one really getting caught.
She
And
can't
you
shoot
know,
it.
Bill
Oh,
Clinton,
Do what?
my daughter's mother-in-law, Lisa's relatives, some of them, is from the same area where Bill Clinton came from. He's been that way all his life. Yeah, he just didn't jump
Alright, we
up
got
and be a
stuff going
Don
on over
Juan.
here, we got stuff going on
He
here.
didn't just jump up being a Don Juan as president. He was that way back probably in the
Yes, he
80s,
was.
In
20s,
Louisiana,
all along. From Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Well, that's where Lisa's, some of my daughter's relatives are from. He's been that way like all his life, you know, not.
Mhm.
He was pretty good.
And when he went with this child here, that girl, she young girl, and crazy, that's all.
Well, I mean, she has now has a place in history.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Well, okay, yeah.
Well,
In Arkansas,
shouldn't be in the house.
you said,
They didn't say stone you.
I didn't.
What reputation you get on here?
Place it.
She got a place in history.
Yes, she do.
Well,
Wait,
it's not an enviable place.
he's a president, all presidents in history. They are.
Now what about, I mean, all I'm showing is that this thing is out of control.
Yes,
Right?
that's
What
right.
about Bill Cosby?
That's another situation.
I
And
mean-
that shocked me, that
sad.
It was very shocking.
black man, and I put him on respect, not with the Lord though, a pedestal being in that series that he had on TV, professor, teacher, whatever. That shocked me.
But that song said.
It didn't shock anybody else, but it shocked me.
Was anybody else shocked?
I was shocked.
I was shocked because you only saw the good side. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Did the money do that for him?
Well, understand. We can't control this thing. We weren't built to control it. And it gets out of hand and we're shocked by the things that we see happen.
Yeah.
Because it's out of control.
But it's demons.
It's demons.
See, that's the thing, it's demons. Because when you say they can have any woman they want, they don't want any woman they
They
want.
sure
They
don't.
want to do some,
Scandal going.
well, I mean, it's not even, they want to do some
Extraordinary.
perverse
Yeah, extraordinary.
things. And they want, I mean, you know, it's beyond,
Sure.
it's beyond normal.
They say that they don't get a thrill until they get something like that.
That's it.
You look at Tiger Woods and the cocktail waitress.
Yeah, that's
You gotta
right.
be
That's
kidding me.
terrible.
You gotta be kidding me. But he gets a thrill from that situation.
Yeah.
And they get to a point where they have to have something like that to get the thrill. And so they do these things.
But
They
they were a
do
whole
these
bunch of
things.
other cars that got their balls and bats and went home. And they was in there too, but they only pulled out Tiger.
Well, that's true. That's true.
There's a whole.
Tiger's thing exploded on him. That little accident he had and all that.
Well, when
Yeah.
your wife run over you with the car, and beat you with a golf
But
club.
what's
Down
up
for
that,
a while.
what's that, the owner of the Warren Football Club, they called up there?
Oh,
Oh,
Craig?
yeah, that's just recent.
Robert Kraft.
Yes.
Who is
This
that?
man owned the New England Patriots. He
Just won
makes
Super
tons of
Bowl.
money. He won how many Super
He
Bowls
knew it too.
and all of that. He got
Went to a
money.
massage
He
parlor.
forgot where some of
You're
it
right,
is.
you massage.
He don't forgot where some of it is.
He got massaged.
But you know, the whole time they was talking about Tiger, he was down. Okay, so I watched the Masters.
Yes.
And when he was out there, I mean, the crowd went right along with him. I said,
Yes.
it's amazing how a crowd will go with you. When you down, they trample you.
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta back up and get it out there. Hey! I said, he should have turned around and
was in the sport where a lot of, well, white folks ran that golf thing.
Yeah, take it down, they'll bring it down.
And they end up liking him, but realize he's still a black man.
Yep,
That's
he
the
got some
point.
black in him, no matter what.
Still black. I don't care if he owns the world, if he's still a black man.
But it
So
didn't
it doesn't matter.
matter.
It doesn't, I mean, even if you can get any woman you want,
Yeah.
and you don't have to go down to the massage parlor,
No.
whatever, you can bring the massage parlor to your house. But you go down there and get filmed, they tape you
Yeah.
and all that. And now you got your in the ringer. I ain't gonna say it, you're in the ringer. Okay. Now you're suing everybody so that nobody can see the tape. Okay. I mean, this whole thing is out of control. It's out of control. I mean, we can go on and on and on, but this, we were talking about political scandal. What about,
That's what I'm talking about.
what about,
That's why she
Yeah.
killed herself.
Yeah.
Cause she wanna hit everybody.
Yeah. Oh,
She did, you didn't.
I didn't know about that.
And it was a couple of weeks after, that's when she was found overdosed. If you know anything about the story, which I do.
he had his people sneak her in the White House.
So
Yes, he
did.
did.
So
And he had a beautiful wife.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure
And
did.
classy.
And
Yes.
but that didn't matter either, did it?
Nobody stood up to her until Michelle. No. And Nancy and Sinatra had a thing going on. Reagan was out there, and Nancy was running the country.
Well, I mean, all I say is this thing's been going on for a while. It goes on at the top levels of the government. You're talking about in politics and all that. And they did a survey on U.S. political sex scandal
Oh my goodness.
from 1976 to 2009.
They ain't got nothing else.
And the Democrats are ahead of the Republicans.
I'll bring that.
It's an empirical study. I mean, they're not that far ahead of the Republicans. But and it seems and what the graph shows or the chart shows is that it seems to be exploding. The bottom one is from 76 to 79. Then it goes up to the 80s. The next one's the 90s.
Republicans.
Then the 2000s. And then it kind of exploded. And this stopped in 2009. So I'm sure that this graph keeps going on.
So is this the ones that got caught?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so part of why that curve is going that way is they didn't have any cell phone cameras back in those low
That's
days.
right.
And the cameras all over the place,
Yes.
they did not have.
We got that now.
We got it now. So more of the truth is, I guess all I'm saying is, we don't know if those little small bars are really as small as they are.
That's these are the reported ones.
Right.
The ones we have, okay? We're reporting them more. And then we now I know it's even more because you have the Me Too and all that, you know? And so people approximately 68% of the rape victims knew their assailant.
That's true.
Sex crime statistics from rape, abuse, and incest, National Network, the U.S. Department of Justice, all these come from these stats that they have gathered. Somewhere in America, we already said that, Between 1995 and 96, more than 670,000 women were the victims of rape, attempted rape, or sexual assault
In 2 years.
in a 2-year period. Well, it probably one. It says between 95 and 96.
That's 1 year.
And that didn't even get into the sex trafficking yet.
No, it didn't.
No,
That's
so
right.
you know who did. Oh, I know.
That is so
It's
random.
terrible.
Approximately 68% of rape victims knew their assailant. 1 out of every 4 rapes takes place in a public area or in a parking garage. I always see it on TV that somebody got raped in a parking garage.
Oh, you gotta be careful in there.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
They don't have time.
Women that are not paying attention, they need to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Where you park your car.
Yeah.
Where you park your
Yeah,
car.
they got-
Because they lay in wait for you. You open your car, they push you in and then
That's right. You gotta be careful.
if you're not paying attention, you don't see them beforehand.
29% of female victims reported that the offender was a stranger. 68% of rapes occurred between the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. At least 45% of rapists were under the influence of alcohol or drugs.
Naturally.
In 29% of rapes, the offender used a weapon.
I know that percentage.
In 47% of rapes, the victim sustained injuries other than rape injuries. This sex thing is
Then you wind up having AIDS or something.
Yeah.
And that's-
75% of female rape victims require medical care after the attack. According to the American Psychological Association Presidential Task Force, they got a presidential task force on this, on violence in the family, approximately 1/3 of all juvenile victims of sexual abuse are children younger than
Oh my goodness.
6 years old.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
That breaks my heart.
So sad.
1 in 2 rape victims is under age 18, 1 in 6 under age 12. About 80% of rape victims are white, 18% are black, 1% of other races.
Now that's shocking.
Now,
No, I ain't remember.
and it's not black people raping all these white people either.
No.
That's shocking.
Understand that. You know how Trump wants to throw everything on brown people?
Oh, yeah.
No, these white people raping white people.
And killing them.
Right? In 1995, 32,130 males aged 12 and older were victims of rape, attempted rape, or sexual assault.
This is not in prison too.
Teens 16 to 19 were 3.5 times more likely than the general population to be victims of rape, attempted rape, or sexual assault. Those with a household income under $7,500 were twice as likely as the general population to be victims of sexual assault. This is one of our biggest problems.
$7,500. Is that a month?
Which one?
No, that's annual.
That's a year.
Yeah.
Annual income.
Yeah.
That's a whole.
He said, is that income for a month? It's come up some. But it's still, I mean, I think they're talking about poverty level, right?
Yes.
That's what, yeah. And so now poverty level is like 11,000.
11,000, which, once again, her statement is still appropriate.
Yeah.
Some people live on that every month. Some people live on that for the whole year. But that opens you up to this sexual crime thing more so than other people. Whew. Now that's out in society with the political scandals, all that. What about in our churches?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, here we are, we got this Bible, we got Jesus, we got all this, and churches are not immune. The Catholic Church, for some reason, and maybe it has something to do with the celibacy.
Yes, it does. Yes,
Okay,
it does.
maybe it has something to do with that.
It does.
Because
Priests can't marry.
so they rape the boys in the church.
The children, yeah.
And children.
Take it out on the children.
They're not exempt.
And the nuns,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, you know,
The nuns too.
they took it out on the nuns.
Didn't Paul say it might be better better to just get married?
I agree with that. They should just let them marry.
They should.
My mother said the Catholic was the one that started
The
the
orphans. Yeah, she's gonna be that too.
Why? Hey,
Not children.
Their offspring.
They trying to raise
Was it for their offspring? For their offspring?
Oh, see, that's wrong. I went to Catholic school now.
We went to Catholic school and she took us to Catholic church, but she
Did somebody touch you?
No.
Okay, I'm just wondering, it was just a
No,
question.
but she had told us that that's why the orphans were there.
No, that's
because
good. But then she tried to scare you.
She was just saying that that's the reason to why the orphans were there, because the priests were messing with the nuns.
I believe that. I believe that. But they,
I
I went to Catholic schools all the way through, and I have had friends that have told me that things have happened, and I don't know why they didn't say anything, because normally those were some like the more vocal kids, which didn't make no sense to me. Like they could have never touched me, because y'all know I talk all the time. And I'd have told everything.
I think they knew which ones
They
to
know-
touch,
they
which
know
ones
which
they
ones
wanted,
to
which
do
ones to
anything.
touch, and which ones they wouldn't touch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
plus
yeah,
it's a shame thing, you gotta tell somebody raped you and all that.
Yeah.
Especially boys, come on now.
Oh,
That might be the last thing they say.
Right.
See, the Catholic sex abuse case is a series of scandals. A number of countries, not just America, a number of countries relating to the abuse of minors by Catholic priests that first rose to widespread public attention at the end of the 20th century. In 2001, major lawsuits emerged in the United States and Ireland, alleging that some priests had sexually abused minors and that their superiors had conspired to conceal and otherwise abet the criminal misconduct. A lot of the problem is the higher-ups knew about it
Yes, they did.
and didn't say anything. And these are the people in positions, And they even alleged that some of these people that's over, and all that. Doing nothing about
Put the brakes on that mess.
it. Doing nothing about it. So, what happens?
Yeah, they move them from one parish to another one.
What happens
In
to
another
this
part of the
sex
world, too.
crime thing when you do nothing about
It spreads.
it? Explodes.
Yes.
Explodes.
And something else, each and every one of those minors that was abused has something.
You mean like some post-traumatic
They got
stress
some
syndrome?
post-traumatic stress syndrome, they got some kind of perversion of their own because of that.
No different than the Me Too people.
So tell me,
They experience the same things.
tell me, how do they justify that? I mean, the individual priest who does this, or whatever, how do you think they justify this?
I can't think
They're
of
human.
They're
They're human. They're human.
That's
I
the
think they say.
They
No, I'm
justify
not
that.
saying
Oh, as a priest. Or
But
nobody
they're
wants
supposed to be
human.
held to a higher standard.
Okay, hold on one second. One thing is, we are recording this Facebook, so we do need to have some type of order of who's talking, because all they're hearing is a bunch of, okay? So, go ahead, finish what you guys say. Then somebody else.
I think it's a moment of weakness. I think they use that, and their spirit was weak, and their flesh is weak, and they know they're gonna be forgiven, so they take that for granted. All I have to do is say, God, forgive me, and then they just do that. But in their mind, they know what they're doing, they know it's wrong, yet they just continue to keep doing it. Keep thinking they're gonna get that forgiveness over.
So they keep thinking that after they do it, that I'm not gonna do it again, Lord, please forgive me, and then it happens again and again. You know why?
Because they're obsessed.
That door is open, that demon's still in there, he's working 24/7,
Yeah.
and you can't do this on your own, okay? You can't fight this on your own, and that's what they're trying to do. Fight it on their own.
It's
So
almost
it's-
like
The more it gets implanted in you and becomes a part of you.
So why does not the Catholic religion let priests marry? I mean, like when their boys wanna get married, 21, to go to college, come out, be a priest, but have a wife and family. Why? What is the reason they can't get married?
I think it
Oh,
got
Jesus
something to do
wasn't
with that,
married.
what Paul said about being single.
Mhm.
What?
You know?
Yeah, cause he said it was better to be celibate, but if you can't, then you should get married. And so they're holding to the, but he said, if you're not like me, you should go on and get married, because it's not easy doing what I'm doing.
Sure,
Matter of fact, it's difficult.
it is. I don't understand
Well, I
that.
don't know that.
Go ahead, you had something to say?
Yeah, I had a lot to say. I'm sorry about the interruption, but I know Facebook Live was going on. Y'all know I'm very opinionated. And maybe I want to say certain things, but I didn't know it.
Yeah, and if anybody has thought about that, was her saying all those things.
Because I've always been on the state of my mind, and I can repeat it again. But we have to be, open-minded enough to talk about the different things and the things that we're learning about these spirits. Okay. Now, just like when I was going to say before, I can't say that I'm in the mind or talk to a priest or a nun, but I do know that people that are obsessed like that is something wrong with them. Okay, to begin with. Okay, and then having that thing on them to say, as a priest, that they can't get married, that they have to, and nuns, that they have to take on a celibacy thing. Believe it or not, I was gonna be a nun when I was like in middle school. I was almost ready to go. My mother was so mad with me. Okay, I was on my way to marry no. But, I was like, ask God, is this the right thing for me to do? Am I going to meet a man later on? Is this, what I'm saying? Because I know it was supposed to be either one way or another. Okay, but so y'all see where I'm at now. Well, anyway, don't laugh at me. But, no, but it's something wrong with these people in the beginning. And then having these children around them, and that's just not to say within the Catholic Church. This stuff goes on in different schools too.
Oh, the coaches.
Okay, that's why you
Where?
have coaches, different schools too. I'm talking about the public area. Yes, indeed. But it's a terrible thing, and it's just that I think it's just they're just human. You know what I'm saying? If they have a problem, that should be addressed. But then they didn't want that kind of embarrassment. I believe, as a Catholic Church, the heads of that organization, I'm gonna call it, and that's all it was. It was about embarrassment. But now I think they're being a little bit more proactive, and I do know that some time ago when Bernardine was over the Archdiocese of Cincinnati, he put a stop to a lot of that. He brought a lot of cases forward, and he wasn't very popular in that regard because he did that. But they trying to work on it. But I do know that they even send these priests that are abusers. They send them not only from one parish to another, but one country to another, from one continent to another. I know somebody that came from the Vatican that came here. Okay? It's true. It happens all the time. So it's just a matter of, and it's just not minors either.
What about in our church?
Of course it happens.
But now,
What about our church?
Well, maybe not in AME, but I grew up Baptist.
Of course not, AME. Some of the members of the church, some of the women come in there and they try to entice the pastor and all that kind of thing. And you got all kind of things going on, even in our churches. Maybe not to the publicity of the Catholic Church and all that kind of thing, but a big problem with pastors is the authority that they have over their members, or the apparent authority they have over their members. Because see, some of these pastors and their documented cases, where they actually go after some of their members, and they do it saying that, you know, we need to bring this sexual sin thing of yours to the surface. Just you and me.
Oh, boy.
Who you know?
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. This is, to them, they convince them as part of their religious therapy here. I'm working on your sin, okay?
With
You and me.
With you.
But how does he know that? How do they know that it's even there for them to be wanting to dress that?
Oh, they convince them that it
You
is.
can tell who people are.
Okay, so I'm just told that it's the same thing, man has done the same thing that man's been doing. Is using the word of God
Yeah.
to their perverse ways. And
Oh,
wherever
yeah.
they want.
Absolutely.
They manipulate, twist it so that it sounds good and make it sound like it's the word of God. But it's for their convenience.
But they also go after the young ones. There was those three, I don't know if they're ministers up north, Cleveland somewhere, where they had, one of them had groomed a 14-year-old, and then he passed her around to two other guys.
Oh.
And touched some boys or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he
Yeah.
passed away.
Big church. Big church. So it's not just the Catholics. Okay. Demons don't respect the AME church. We know they don't respect the Baptist church.
That's dirty. That's dirty.
Alright, I'm just kidding, Facebook. They don't
No,
respect
they are no
anything.
respecter of any
None of it.
denomination.
Right.
Any
None
door,
of
cracked open door, they coming in.
It's open. It's open. All right, talk about the schools. Well, yes, it does happen in the schools, and these are some examples of them. We know it does. We know that the teachers will take advantage of the students, and the students will try to take advantage of the teachers, and all that is going on. And we see the tip of the iceberg with the lawsuits that come out, and people getting charged and all that kind of thing. Okay? So yes, it goes on in schools. Also, you send your child. You send your child to school. You better keep an eye on them.
That's true. Even in the high school level. You know, I have a niece that goes to, well, that's in high school. I'm not going to mention the school. But, you know, that's why I say that sex trafficking is just so alive and rampant. You know, she's been approached. You know what I'm saying? To the point where I had her to do a diary every day of what happens in school, because that was going to be like a documentary that I had interest in. You know, talk with different sources like the police and all that. But the numbers are crazy, and I mean they don't care. They right in there in high schools every day. They are. It's terrible.
It's a problem.
I had a friend, it was so funny, she was cool too, she's still cool. We didn't know, unbeknownst to us, that she was messing around with the coach. And she was in the 12th grade, so by the time she graduated, they let it all out. They had been messing around all of that time.
Wow.
All of that time. They wanted to get married, but still nevertheless, it was surprising to us that they were messing around, even though she was still, you know, he was the coach. She let them great.
Wow.
Not only schools.
Oh, yeah.
Doctors,
Ain't nobody
doctors,
like you said, that spirit
pediatricians,
don't care.
children's doctors.
You gotta stay in the room with them, man.
You get in there and they touching all up on you and on your kids or on you ain't got a big kid. They get the women up in there, lay them on the thing, and we need to, you know.
Dennis taking
Woo! It's crazy. It's crazy. But also, and this was one I was involved in. This got to be the craziest one. Corpse sexual abuse case.
Oh my, is that the guy?
Kenneth Douglas admitted to having sex with over 50 corpses down in Hamilton County.
The coroner's office.
He said he was on alcohol and cocaine and all that. And he didn't, I'm not really that type person. I had to interview this guy. I had to go to prison and talk to this guy.
Oh my.
And, nice guy when I talked to him, you know. But one thing he couldn't get around is, you know what I'm saying?
A naked body.
No, a
And
dead,
cold.
dead body. Cold body.
But that's called necrophilia, right? Necrophilia is a thing.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
That's what they call it, and they call it necrophilia.
Yeah.
And it's the dead, I don't know how they do it or anything, but, I mean.
So,
Yeah, it's hard, ain't it?
Yeah,
Okay, we wanna know, how did he do that?
Yeah, what did he say?
how did he do that?
What did he tell you?
Do it if it was
What did he tell me?
Yes.
Come
He
on.
told me that he was high out of his mind on cocaine and alcohol.
50 times.
Well, you know what he said over
And
100 times.
Okay, but did he say why? I mean, now what motivated him to do that? I mean, it's got to be something other than
Just-
alcohol and
Just
drugs.
alcohol.
They were
I mean,
better.
was it a mental thing with him?
Yes.
Or
Well,
did
I'm
something
sure he had
happen to him
some type
before,
of-
or what?
Oh, yeah, that has some mental.
Well, he did. I mean, he's not schizophrenic. He worked in the morgue.
morgue. And that's how this those dead bodies.
They were
like
available.
a woman.
A lot of female dead bodies.
Naked.
And he used to bring women up in there too. And that's
Live?
Yes, he
live,
did. Yeah, he did. He did.
live women.
He did.
But I guess when he couldn't get the live ones in there, there they were.
They were there.
Yes, ma'am.
In the morgue.
I think this is a perversion that he had, and he's turned on by corpses which can't refuse.
Naked, right.
Yeah, but then to bring the live women
Now, that's
into the
another
corner
section.
situation.
That's
So that part I don't understand.
That's weird.
Hey, that's the one. That's the one.
And I know you know the bottom of it, but you won't.
So, all of this narrows right back down to
They're sick.
demons.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Sick.
Demonic.
They're
It's
sick.
demonic.
They're sick.
Well, I mean, sometimes when you look for answer, that's the answer. It's demonic.
Demonic.
The demons don't care. They got no limits. And things that look up, we go, ooh. To them, they say, that won't work.
I've not heard of that. Oh, that's a miracle.
So, this thing is pretty pervasive. Now, you say, how do we get here? I mean, how does this thing go? Understand, it's pervasive, okay? And look at your televisions.
Oh, good.
Advertisements. Now that one on the left, she's hawking a barbecue pit. Now,
She's
Now,
selling
she-
barbecue pit.
she's selling barbecue pit. And you say, what the heck does that
Got to do
sexual
with
thing have to do with that? Makes people look at the advertisement, right? The one on the right?
What's she selling?
And
Uh,
I think she's selling
Towels.
towels.
Cans and towels. Wake up and dream.
Yeah.
That's what it says. That's
Can and towel. She's got the towel there, and she's,
That's all she
You're
got.
gonna feel beautiful
Now-
and
Now, if I'm the guy down there in the morgue,
ain't gonna be slim.
and all I do when I go home is I see all this stuff on the TV, that's gonna fire me up, and I'm saying I can't wait to get to work tonight. How about this one? On the left, this lady is hawking a projector, but look at that.
Why her boobs?
I thought it would be cars because she got her high beams on.
This is society.
And look at the year. Tip of the hairstyle and the clothing. Look what year this might have been.
that was Sabrina.
When he gets up to our
Yeah.
house, it's even worse.
They naked.
And this one on the right, she's hawking Shoe shine.
How?
By leaning over and
I
showing.
see the brush.
I see the brushes.
You barely see the stuff.
Where's the
If it didn't look close, I mean, never would see the shoe.
That's
What
what
is
it
the
is.
shoe?
So,
Is that
here's
a
another
ball?
one. One on the left is selling ovens. Okay?
Wait,
She ain't
oh, no. Wait a
One on
minute.
the right selling coffee.
Oh, that's good. Coffee one is the one that got me first, okay? I'm sorry.
Wait a minute.
I won't make you want to stop drinking coffee.
What's the name?
I would say the one on the left. Oh, my. Pushing Slim Caesar, let you take a bite.
No, she's pushing burgers.
Can't only see the burger.
These are sexy burgers.
Is that burger?
I didn't know
Yeah,
where
right.
it was next.
She's selling something else. Yeah, that is it.
Yeah, it ain't that burger. 'Cause
It ain't the burger.
Cause I see Cootie Cat and everything.
She's not gonna be that thin.
How about vacuum cleaner ad?
Oh God. Oh God, wait a minute. Yeah, see, we can't even get the front. They want to get us. We going by the vacuum.
That's a
cleaner.
vacuum
That's a vacuum cleaner ad.
That's
Where
crazy.
is it? Oh, it's she's
She's
standing
standing
up.
with the guy. That's where the focal point is.
Your focus point is that guy, but.
The guy is the focal point.
His thing was still caught in the nose.
That's so messed up.
Oh,
Oh, look at you turning it over to Spike Hill. Clean that with the stiletto.
Your mind goes everywhere but on the vacuum.
I'm trying to find a vacuum speaker.
She's
Never heard of,
Her
Ever heard of
stiletto
GoDaddy?
turning on.
GoDaddy?
GoDaddy.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, go daddy.
They and you know this is your domain name.
Right, that's where you, actually, my business uses that for our website.
So what they do, they got the girl up there unzipping her.
Go
You know?
daddy.
And does anyone know why this man smiling?
Wait a minute, let's look at you.
Drinking.
Wait a minute, he got, somebody's got his hand.
No.
That's somebody's hand.
That is somebody got his hand.
Somebody got his hand?
Yeah, you see right there?
Somebody's holding his hand with that cup.
You see two watches or a bracelet and a watch.
Yeah.
Oh, on the, he's on the right side.
Right, now he's
How
drinking
long
coffee.
these guys have?
But wait a minute.
He's
What is
looking-
I don't see nobody else's hand.
I do.
There's something wrong with you. Where? You right up there. See it right there?
On the
See
right
how her
side.
hand is going over his fist?
Right, on the right side.
Look at the lower right hand side. Your lower right hand side. Your lower right hand side.
Two watches.
His coffee?
See, we need to come up there and show you.
So tell us, why is he smiling?
Why?
What are you looking
You
at?
wanna know why he's smiling?
What are you looking at?
Yeah, you wanna know.
Oh!
Condo. No wonder she's still holding his hand. Hey, got him a bowl of cereal, oatmeal, and some coffee.
You know, we have fun with this kind of thing, but understand this is pervasive in our
Yeah.
society. This is what we're seeing on TV.
Yeah,
This
but
is
this permits all
this
this.
type of
Yeah.
thing. Every one of these things have been approved to be in front of us, and it's not in front of
The
us.
children.
In front of the children
They're trying to
and all that kind of thing. So they're being conditioned and they're being indoctrinated by this sexual thing, and the demons are doing this to the people that mindset to put these in front of everybody on a consistent basis. People talk about these commercials having these little messages in them and all that kind of thing. Well, that's the subliminal stuff.
Right.
This is outward stuff, and it's having an effect. It has an effect. People don't have the reluctance about sex the way we had growing up. No doubt about it. The whole thing has changed.
Or that we were
On the rock.
let to know. You know what I'm saying? How we were raised. That's the level of what you found out. Okay, so I think we were really kind of protected. Well, I know I was.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's the
But
whole
this
point.
right here, this, and I agree with the demons, the thing, but see, this right here, in my mind, is directed toward the more intelligent person, the adult, that thinks about what they're doing. Now, they're not necessarily targeting kids, I mean, they're targeting everybody. But this, I think, is, because, you know,
I wanted to say, this is what's influencing nursing homes. There's a rampage of sex
Oh my
happening
God, it
in
is.
nursing homes.
Well,
now.
and let's say
Because,
And
yes.
not just sex, but STDs.
Yes.
I heard about that,
That's true.
STDs.
It's the nurse home.
Explosion.
Oh, yeah.
An
Oh, yeah.
explosion.
I ain't mad at it.
Because of this.
More or less in the daytime,
More or less in the daytime.
in the morning.
Yeah. So, I mean, that just shows you how far we have gone
I didn't understand it.
in a short amount of time.
Well, now that's what Trump talking about, want to make America great again. Go back to that time, see?
Yeah, then we be getting caught again.
I ain't got nothing against Rob and Laura and their twin beds.
Well, you didn't see many blacks on TV doing that.
No, I did not.
So, the point to be made is that to give everybody an understanding this sexual problem is pervasive.
Yes, it is.
And you can't get around it. You turn your TV on, you see it. You know? I mean, you go on your phone, okay? You go on the internet, okay? Lord, don't let one of them sex bombs hit your computer. I mean, you'll see all kind of stuff that you didn't ask for. I remember one time, you know, it was years ago. I'm on the computer, and here comes this thing on here, you know, and I'm saying, I'll check it out. I mean, it works, you know. I hit that thing. I hit that thing, and I saw some of the wildest stuff I ever seen in my life. And plus, after I figured out what it was, let me erase this. I couldn't erase it.
I know more about
And it just kept going. Boom, 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 boom.
So here's another thing, and I hope this doesn't influence anybody wrong, but my daughter and I, this was several years ago, she was in maybe middle school or high school, and we were doing some research on the government. So we said, put on the search engine, whitehouse.com.
Okay.
What?
Oh my goodness. And it was like, I was like, oh, we did something wrong. But it's a porn site.
Oh my God.
I mean, terrible porn.
Okay, because the government is .gov.
Yeah, whitehouse.gov is where we meant to go.
You went
But
.gov.
we didn't, I mean, you know, .com, and whoever has that site, they knew what they were
Yes,
doing.
oh,
And because, and like Art said, when it comes to you, you see it, and then it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to just not look.
And the power of it.
That's what,
Understand the
I
power.
hope that changed it since then.
Understand the power. I had an uncle who, he used to live next door to my grandmother's house and all that. And then he moved out, and we were staying with my grandmother, so I moved over into his place. I was I was a teenager. I got my own room and everything. Under his bed was a magazine.
Playboy?
Now, I don't know what magazine it was, but there was a picture of this black man, this white women were having sex. And that picture burned in my mind. You know, I still remember it today. I mean, understand the power of pornography.
Yeah.
The reason it's such a big problem is because it burns itself into your consciousness. Okay? And if you don't get away from that, flee. And all that, it don't let you go. It destroys some people.
I heard of somebody who lost his job
Mm-hmm.
because he was watching porn at work. And they warned him several times and he could not stop. He couldn't stop. He lost his job.
Some people lose their jobs, they lose their marriages, and it evolves into other things.
Yes.
Sexual crimes, sexual acts. You down low, you know, where and we're not getting into it today because this one takes more than one class.
Yes, it does.
But homosexuality and fornication, adultery. We're gonna find out specifically what the Bible says about all that stuff. And this homosexuality that is just transforming. It's transforming. It was the magazine or the newspaper today for the United Methodist Church has now elected an openly gay bishop. And they're looking at the AME church as come on y'all, get on board.
No.
But the AME church says no. Right now.
No, they stop.
Right now.
Yeah, like you said, right
They got it in the doctrine of discipline. That ain't happening.
right now.
But
Not only.
United Methodist had it. Okay? So right now, but the way this thing is going, okay, it's getting worse and worse and worse. I know in previous classes years ago, Miss Monica and I, I'm sure she remembers this, is that when the president, Obama, first black president and all that, I respect him for that, I respect him for a whole lot of things. I don't respect him for the things that he did to advance homosexuality onto the main stage of this country and all that kind of thing, because it's taken over now. It's taken over now. Now, God said that things were going to get worse before they get better.
Okay.
He said that. Okay? It's playing out in front of our eyes. It's playing out in front of our eyes. I've got and I'll show it next time, an interview with Tony Evans on CNN, I think it was, or whatever. And he talks about that.
I have a question. So why is it so important for us to accept that? If we have a position and we're like, no, we're not. Why is it so hard to convince us? Because I'm like, no, I'm not going to.
Yeah, I say that too. But understand this too. In today's atmosphere, and that's why I brought up the thing about Obama. It's now so okay, and things have changed. It used to be that the homosexuals were in the closet, okay, but now they've come out. Now, and the reason in the closet because people were dogging them out and all that. You can't come out in that atmosphere, right? Now, if you're the person who are standing up here against it, you are under attack. You are under attack. And people will say, remember we talked about how they teach our kids now to accept everything? They not only accept everything, but they get upset and mad at us when we won't do it. Okay? And they don't understand, I can't do it.
I'm sit there and tell you, God is love.
All that kind of
Now
thing.
that is love.
It is love.
That got a lot of rules to go with
He
it.
loves right.
God loves them too.
Yes.
Okay? That's not the point. And remember I said earlier that I can accept somebody that does commits a sin, but not a lifestyle. So we'll talk about that. I think we're gonna cut it off here. Okay? Anybody got any comments?
Yeah, I got something to say. I got a question.
Okay.
Now, are you slipping through the door, or are you open to just like, okay, because this CIO's thing is still staring us in the face. Now, I do remember when.
Oh, so you be taking off?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I do remember when. What was the name of it? It came
All right,
out.
hold on. Let her talk.
The Viagra?
Viagra. Now, is it a door open when you feed into it monetarily? Because like when the Viagra came out, I sure got in on some stock. Okay, so is that thing there too when it's going through a financial door? I just want to know. I'm for real about it.
Understand. Where's your heart?
Financial gain. That's where it was.
That's not bad, right?
Okay, that's what I'm asking. Is that a door that I'm slipping into
Well,
because I invested in it?
After we do this sex thing, you know what the next door gonna be?
Okay. I'm always ahead of myself.
Money, money, money.
I'm always ahead of myself. Okay.
Money.
See you.
Right now, that's it.
You want to wrap up for Facebook? You got a lot of questions on Facebook that you're gonna have to answer.
Do I need to answer them right now?
Well, so I see succulus in your dreams. Is this why we're praying before sleep?
Definitely pray before sleep.
Oh,
Absolutely. I say, tell them that. I would say pray before sleep, pray
When
after
you wake
sleep,
up.
and pray
Without
continuously.
ceasing. Pray without ceasing.
Especially if you know, let's not be ignorant of how we are and who we are.
That's right.
You know if you having a problem with this.
There you go.
Okay? Don't act like you don't if you do. And definitely focus your prayer on that.
That was a great question.
We'll take a look at all of these comments. I can't see all of them, but
Okay.
we'll answer them all.
All right.
You want to thank
All
the
right.
people?
Huh?
Thank them.
Okay, we do want to thank all those who've been watching us on Facebook. And I'll take a look at it, or we'll take a look at it afterwards and try to answer the questions we are. But we thank you for that. And then every now and then maybe you can come to the class. We'd love to have you in the class also.
Tell your friends.
Yes,
But if
yes.
you can't, then we would like you